everybody, this is Zoe from No Safer Place and it is week 2 of the No Safer Place book club. This week we are discussing a book that is a little bit heavier than the first week's one. I thought the first week would be a nice ease in, and now this week is a very full-on hard-hitting book, but it is absolutely incredible. This week's book was chosen by the amazing Lexi Casali. She is the author of The Bone Dragon and she has been amazing since I started blogging. Lexi chose The Wonderful Countless by Karen Gregory. Now, Bloomsbury had actually sent me a proof of this months beforehand and I kept looking at it because the cover really doesn't give anything away of what the book's about. So I kind of looked at it for a while, kept leaving it and leaving it on my to be read pile. Then when Lexi chose this book and I kind of read the blurb and got a bit more involved in the story and read her blog piece, I was like, wow, I need to read this book. Before I start this review, I just want to give some trigger warnings because there are a lot of triggers in this book. The most important one is anorexia and eating disorders in general. I really think that is a major trigger for this book. Yes, it is incredible and it focuses on really important topics, but I think it could be detrimental if you are going through this yourself. The story focuses on Hedda. Hedda is still a teenager herself, she's still a child herself, and she finds out that she is pregnant. She doesn't know who the dad is, but she decides that she wants to keep this child. But the most important thing is that she has anorexia. And I'm not sure if many of you know, but having a child when you have anorexia is extremely difficult because sometimes wanting to eat for the baby just isn't enough because your body is telling you not to, and that is kind of what this story is about. Now, one of the most harrowing things I found about this book is Hedda has a name for her anorexia. The anorexia's name is Nia, and I think once you personify something, it makes it even more real and makes it feel like you can't get rid of it because it's this person, it's this being that stays with you all the time. And I think that is something truly terrifying about this book, just how real her eating disorder is. Her eating disorder has a voice, it has feelings, and with whatever Hedda tries to do, she takes into account how Nia would feel. So after she decides to keep the baby, it is a countdown to when she can stop eating again, which is another horrifying thing to read, just how excited she is to not eat again. 17 weeks, 119 days, 357 meals. I mean, how horrifying is that to even hear, let alone read and see someone's thoughts whilst they're thinking that. So as you can imagine, Hedda's journey throughout pregnancy and once she's had the baby is a real roller coaster. She really has to fight for the baby's survival as well as her own. And what I also loved about this book was that it shows the struggles of being a teen mum, how your family can react to certain situations badly, how difficult it is to be on benefits, how sometimes they don't come through quick enough, and if you haven't got that family support network, how hard it is for you because you have no money and you don't know what to do with this baby. So when she's struggling for supplies, that was really one of the hardest things for me to read in the book. And I think what's even more scary about that is how often it happens. She moves into her own place and has this kind of budding romance with one of her next door neighbours called Robin. The romance felt real, it felt genuine, but I'm not going to say what happens with Robin, but the ending kind of made it worse for me because I was so distraught for her and I felt like she deserved so much better. So as I said, this is a really hard-hitting book, but it really is so important and I urge you to read it. As always, I'll be reading my favourite quotes from the book. The first one is on page 16. Nia sits at the top of the lamppost. "Stupid cow," she hisses. "Also, look what you've done. And that thing inside you is gonna make you fat. Disgusting. It's too much." I push myself off and start to walk as fast as I can, pulling my phone out as I go. The next quote is on page 34. "I count out the weeks in my head, then the days, then the meals. 17 weeks, 119 days, 357 meals. I can do it if I take them one at a time." The last quote is on page 63. I go to the front door and Mum's voice follows me out onto the street. You can't be selfish about this. I turn. I know that. It's not just my life anymore. I get it, okay? Mum slumps against the doorframe as I leave. It was never just your life you were affecting. I love that quote, and that moment there is when Hedda realises the effect that she has had, not just on her life, but everyone's life around her. So as I said, this book is absolutely amazing, and I am so glad it was chosen to be part of the No Safer Place book club. Remember, the chat starts at 6 PM tonight. I hope to see some of you there. It should be a really great one. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.